If your fashion wish list lives rent-free in your brain, you need to be on Poshmark. With Poshmark, you're shopping millions of listings from thousands of closets, each curated by someone with their own style. Vintage finds, designer pieces, and everyday staples all in one place. Search for your favorites or let the discovery come to you. Poshmark makes it easy to find what you actually want to wear at prices that feel like a quiet win. Download the Poshmark app today and use code PODCAST10 when you sign up to get $10 off your first purchase.
Oh my goodness. Ding dong, bing bong, TikTok. What is up, dude? It has been like, I don't know, months. It's been months since I came and hung out with you, dude. What day is it? Wednesday? Is time even real, dude? It's Wednesday afternoon, man. The interesting part, people canceled today. So I'm like, hey, dude, you know what? If I'm gonna hang out, if I'm gonna be ready to go, and I'm gonna meet with you on the calendar, and you decide not to show up, I'm gonna go hang out with my people, dude. I wanna say what's up to all y'all. It has been a while, dude. There's so many people have been like, dude, where'd you go? What are you talking about? Where did I go? I release 10 pieces of content every single day, bro. Every day. I'm popping. Look at this. Look. Let me just show you what's popping off here. Look at this studio, bro. I am constantly creating, bro. You are on camera 1, camera 2, all this stuff, dude. I am constantly creating, man. My building systems. Elisa, what's up, girl? How you doing? It's just been insane, dude. There's a lot of stuff. You guys don't know, dude. Hella Healthy dropped. People are popping off and loving this book, dude. I'm getting testimonials every single day. I'm constantly creating something to kind of revolutionize, shift the direction of the industry. If you guys don't recognize me, my name is Cody. I'm a former alcoholic liver failure survivor. Across my social media, dude, just about 1.3 million people follow my content, and I am so beyond blessed for that to be even remotely true, dude. And it totally is. Hey, what's up, Professor Panic? What's going down? Ellie, love you, dude. And I continue to show up, man. So I just here's what's up. I just released a Substack article a few minutes ago, and if you guys don't know, I have something called the Beyond SoberScan. And this is for you right now, dude. I don't care where you're at. Sober, not sober, curious, done it before, tried it, didn't work. Been to AA, been to all these different things. It's possible that what you tried in the past wasn't for you. And what you did experience kind of fueled whatever tool or resource that you kind of, felt might benefit. The Beyond SoberScan, it's 6 or 7 questions, dude. BeyondSoberScan.com, dude. Totally free. It's for you. It's for your assessment. And what it does is it just asks you a few questions. It only takes a few minutes. And then it decides, hey, man, you sound like somebody that wants to take care of themselves and just wants a set of tools to practice on their own. Here you go. We're going to give you the actual recovery guide, right? You could download it. You can watch it. You could do all this stuff. Take everything that I know, apply it step by step, work on improving yourself. And if you struggle, there's the program, there's all the other stuff. Then there's people, which is for most people, and we'll get into the actual analytics of why this works and why it's important real soon here. But the people that can benefit, truly benefit from something new, okay? A program, something that is not strict, but considerate of the biology. Biology first, recovery for people sobriety didn't fix, okay? A program that focuses on your health, a program that focuses on your identity, bro, who you actually are. Not what you're struggling with, not with what you ate yesterday, not with what you did, not with your trauma, what you think you did, who you are. When we focus on becoming a better, healthier, happier, more exciting version of ourselves, what are the chances that we're going to go, you know what I want to do? Let me just wreck it. Let me just let me just pour some gasoline on how well I feel. Happy, healthy people don't consider ruining their lives, even ruining the next moment. They don't hang out with people that are toxic. They barely eat toxic food. So here's the trip, though. This is why the quiz exists. Did you know? I have the absolute proof for this, dude. It's right here. Only 4% of people ask for help. 4%, dude. That's like out of 100 people, like look at all 62 of us right here. That's like 2 people having the goal or finding that state of vulnerability going like, hey, dude, I need to go check Cody's page, bro. Like I need to talk to somebody. So listen to this. I personally meet with over 600 people every single year. That's the 4%, dude. 600 people a year see the content, see the possibilities, see all the things, and go, you know what? Maybe he's the guy. Maybe I'm going to ask him for some support. That's the 4%. That's why I do all this, is because the majority of people, you got to think about this. Only 4% ask for help, okay? What about the 96% of people that are afraid to ask for help? That don't feel confident enough, who tried it before and were shunned, who reached out for support and felt like they did something wrong. The people who really, truly haven't practiced their own self-regulation to a point where they could click a couple links and just talk to somebody, all that stuff. 4% of people end up on the calendar, man. You got to remember, Beyond Sober, these books, the apps, all that stuff is for the 96% of people, possibly you, that literally are just going like, hey, I know I could improve my life. 96 days, bro. Woohoo! That's amazing. You're never going to be more sober than sober, dude. So celebrate. You did it. You're done. You figured it out. You're get beyond sober now. That's the whole point. But the 96% of people who could use the support, want the support, who've been waiting for the support, who've been looking for it silently. We're talking about the people who don't leave comments. They just watch the content. You know what I'm saying? Jeremy, what's up, girl? How you doing? Wait, what you up to, dude? Stoked to see you, dude. It has been months and months and months, dude. You know what? Hey, I'll be in Italy on September 1st. What? Beyond Sober Global? Yeah, dude. I'm now recognized as a global behavior specialist, dude. It powered by Think and Grow Education, dude. We're popping off. We're gonna be in Sardinia, in Italy, in Rome. September 1st, so it's going to be insane. So here's the trip though. Like this is how important recovery and emotions and all these things really are. There's people flying from different countries just to hang out with me in the same room, just to talk to me, just to get a hug. They're going to be hanging out with me for 8 hours as I give a full-on 8-hour presentation about emotional addiction. The identity, the person, the stories, the beliefs, the ideologies. All of those microscopic mechanisms that drive us towards unhealthy behavior. Depending on who we are, we either become someone that asks for help, like the 4% of people I just wrote about, or we remain part of the 96% of people that just try and figure it out. Am I coming to Australia? Think and Grow is based in Australia. I have hopes I'll be in Australia. I don't have plans yet, but I'll tell you this, because the organization that I'm working with is founded in Australia. That's where they're stationed. I'm sure I'll be out there, dude. And if I'm gonna end up in Australia, dude, I'll let you know for sure. Minnesota, I think we're gonna be out there pretty soon. No, it's Ohio. I don't know. So anyway, check it out. That's what the scan is for. The scan is for like, hey, dude, here's quietly, not literally anonymously, answer these questions. Let's figure out what the best solution is for you. Because look, dude, the solution for me is to jump on the turntables right here, scratch some shit up, get OG cry, right? Jump on a Suno, write some music, dude. Write music about my life, dude. Get in the gym and ball, bro. Like, I'm gonna pick up some weights, dude. I'm gonna get some tattoos. Like, this is how I grow. This is how I grieve. This is how I feel. This is a part of my soul. This is what's true. It's what feels right. It's what makes sense. I'm not going to recommend that for you unless you like wearing 2 hats too, which you probably don't. If you're not me, then the only way to do it is your way. But we don't always feel confident in doing it our way. We think, yeah, tattoos, we think that our way is the wrong way if it's not what's like socially applicable. Basically saying, if it's not AA, if it's not 12-step, if it's not MAT, if it's not therapy, if it's not, working with a professional, if it's not you cold turkey, if it's not what's traditional, it's just the wrong way. So check this out. If we all feel that our way is the wrong way, and we haven't become someone who feels safe enough to just say, fuck it, then we keep doing what we've always done and get what we always got. We keep cycling. We keep finding reasons why it's not bad enough. We keep going, hey, you know what, dude? It's just, you know what? Cody survived liver failure, dude. Like, he had stage 4 cirrhosis. I'm not that bad. I only have 10 drinks a day. Cody, he was 30 to 50 drinks a day, dude. He had an addiction, right? Look at him now. What I'm doing is not that bad. It's getting worse, though. It's getting worse. So when we look at the scan, when we look at the actual data, what people are saying, it is seriously, I mean, it is absolutely beautiful to like look at what people are saying, but it is really sad because here's what's up, man. I gotta pull it up. Scan findings. It's sad because there's so many more people that could find better options, better solutions, feel more confident, get what they actually need based on who they are, not what their problem is, and evolve into someone that grows through the issues and becomes someone that is not actually impacted by it, man. All right, so check this out. I actually wrote this on the side. I'm just going to read this to you because it's really important, dude. The recovery industry is built on asking for help. Almost nobody does it. Across 5,286 completed sober scans, only 4% said they reach out to someone that they trust when they feel themselves slipping. 45%, probably you, distract themselves. 29% power through it until they break. You've been there, you've done that. You got the scars to prove it, okay? And then only 8% said a group or a community is the support that actually works for them. Do you see? I asked nearly 6,000 people, 5,300 people, how they move through life when things get rough, dude. When things are getting like a little chaotic. When your hormones are dropping. When your testosterone's not pumping, dude. When you got extra estrogen. When you didn't sleep well last night. When you're watching too much of the news. When your ghrelin hormone isn't kicking in. When you're confusing hunger for cravings. When all of that stuff is popping off, what do you do? What do you do? Personally, right now, what do you do? Are you out here part of the 4%? Are you part of the 96%? Are you trying to white knuckle through life in general? Not even just not drinking. Not even just a craving. Just like, it looks like I'm gonna suck another dick. You know what I'm saying? Are you just sitting here trying to white knuckle this shit? What is the percentage on that? What is that? 4%? 45% distract themselves. You just pretend like it's not happening? You just go do something else and hope that the problem fixes itself. You just pretend like it doesn't matter to you. You wait for a problem, something that needs your attention, and then you go, you know what? I'm just gonna distract myself until it goes away. I'm just gonna get face deep and hope, bro. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. I call that brown bagging it, okay? I call that ostrich behavior. Why would I call that ostrich behavior? It's because you're putting your head in the fucking sand, bro. Instead of becoming someone that can handle those things, right? Which is what identity is, which is why Beyond Sober works so well. We're sitting here trying to pretend like we're not bothered. We're white knuckling. We're distracting ourselves. We're doing something else. We're trying to actively pretend that if we disconnect from the actual circumstance, that the circumstance is going to fix itself. What we don't really realize in the moment is that the circumstance directly needs our attention. That's why it bothers us. It's bugging us because it's for us. It's supposed to get our attention. But if we are someone who practices escaping, which we all are, we're all escape artists, then what happens is when those triggers and when those circumstances arrive, we are actively admitting and wholeheartedly committing to the concept, the idea, but the unrealized truth that we can't hack it. We need to put a bag over our heads. Is that you, dude? Is that what you're doing? That's why you're white knuckling life, dude. That's why things are so difficult. We think our brain's gonna explode, dude. We're sitting here going, my anxiety. Bro, you have anxiety because you drink. You also don't set a bedtime. You don't drink enough water, bro. You don't even go outside. Look at what you just ate. When was the last time you ate? hours and hours and hours ago? Was it healthy? Did you make a good decision? Did you just eat the last pieces of chicken and scrape off the macaroni from someone else's plate because you were in a rush? Or did you actually make a healthy fucking snack, dude, and fuel your system? Most of us are experiencing the literal biological discrepancies of disrupted hormones, lack of sleep, not enough water, not moving our body enough. And we're sitting here going, I got a problem with alcohol. You don't have a problem with alcohol. You don't even have a problem with substances. You got a problem with how healthy you are. Healthy people, happy people, do not struggle. They don't deal with that stuff. And I'm gonna get back to this. So this is all going back to the SoberScan. So look, the last thing that's recommended for people, just depending on how you answer in the scan, is, hey dude, you probably benefit from coaching. You probably benefit from working with someone personally. When someone lands on coaching, like that's what the system recommends for them, that doesn't mean they are worse off. That doesn't mean that they have a bigger problem. It means that, I promise you, Mimi, hanging out with me for like a day, you're gonna feel better, dude. You're gonna be hydrated, right? You're gonna burn calories. You're gonna be around like positive energy, dude. We're gonna start blueprinting and working on some things. I'm not gonna let you feel bad. You know what I'm saying? So working with someone, or at least having someone else having their eyeballs on you, is usually beneficial for most people. So the scan, I'm encouraging everybody to take a look, bro. Just look, beyondsoberscan.com. Take a look, drop it. You don't even have to fill it out. Just take a look. Answering those questions might point you in a direction that's most beneficial for who you are. Now, here's the trip though. It also implements, or it insinuates that maybe 12-step is for you. Maybe identity reconstruction and personal growth isn't really for you. Maybe you really do want to white knuckle and tell war stories, dude. Maybe you do want to sit in a circle and commit to a higher power. Maybe you do want to commiserate with people in equal or worse situations than you. Maybe you do need structure. Maybe your personality needs to be handed to you by a book. If that's who you are, there's nothing wrong with that. But that ain't me, dude. This book's not going to help you. I mean, it will. It's science. If every book ever disappeared and we started writing books again, this book would appear again because it's science. It's biology. It's the biology of recovery. Let's go in. We'll go even further into this, dude. I had something really important that I was going to say, but then my ADHD got the best of me. So I'm sure it'll pop back in. But here's what's up. A lot of people are pissed right now. You got yours? Yeah, what's up? Hey, Austin in the building, bro. What is up, dude? I haven't seen you in a while. I haven't been live in a while. I've been posting on TikTok, dude. I don't get views anymore. Dude, it goes nowhere. Like, I don't know what happened to TikTok since they transitioned. Hey, TikTok. What up, dude? Why? Why is recovery content suppressed? Why is it so impossible to reach people? Did you know this? TikTok, I don't know if you know this or not, but about 27% of people on TikTok are struggling with alcohol. That is like, what? The last time I did the numbers, that was like 120 million people are drinking too much, could really use the support, need a new perspective, which is what this tattoo is, and our content, which is designed to revolutionize the human experience, goes nowhere, dude. Nowhere. 100 views? Damn, bro. Why you doing this to us? You must need your people sick. That's horrible. That's absolutely horrible. So check this out, man. Here's what's up. This right here, this book. Austin, if you didn't know I did this, bro, this is hella healthy, right? I'm wearing the same shirt. Look, see that shirt right there, right? That's that shirt right there, man. You know what it says? It says drink water. Look. This is the book that Bill Wilson, the creator of AA, would have written had he been given the opportunity. That's just the natural expansion of products and services, okay? Now, everyone thinks I hate AA. I don't. Its success rate is between 5 and 10%, right? A lot of people think I'm hating on it. 5 and 10% is millions and millions and millions and millions of people. That's only 5 to 10% of the 4% of people that actually reached out, went to a room, asked for help, or got in trouble and was sentenced to AA. That's what happened to me, dude. I'm a liver failure survivor. They're like, hey, if you want a new liver, you got to go to AA. I heard about that place. My mom went there. My dad went there. My uncle went there. And it was exactly what I expected, if not worse, okay? That's my personal experience, okay? But you also don't realize that I've worked one-on-one with thousands of people, just like this, every single day. 600 people a year, bro. Guess how long I've been rocking Beyond Sober? 6 years, dude. We're on year 7 right now, and now we're global. My personal stories, dude, the things that I've heard only validate or make it look worse, okay? Doesn't mean it doesn't work. It just means it's not for 96% of people. Here's what's crazy. Bill Wilson, the creator of AA, spent the last decade of his life dedicated to nutrition research. All he did is what I do. Focus on your health. Focus on your happiness. Yeah, he created AA. Yeah, he formed the room. Yeah, he built the administration. He appointed the staff. He appointed the people that maintained Alcoholics Anonymous. Phenomenal. The last 10 plus years of his life, when he was dying, he was trying to focus on his health. Rightfully so, right? He's trying to live a long life. Here's what he concluded. Niacin, which is vitamin B3, could actually cure alcoholic behavior, cure a majority of what alcoholics claim to struggle with. Now, this is all verifiable. He did a study, okay? He took, I don't know, enough people to make it a valuable source, and he did niacin therapy. All he did was say, hey, dude, take these vitamins every day. Let's do it for a couple months. He took the AAers, the diehards, the forever fucked, the always alcoholics, the ones that have a disease, the ones that are like big booking it. He said, stay in AA, just take this vitamin. They started taking this vitamin. Guess what happened? They stopped identifying as alcoholics. What? What do you mean? What do you mean? You're forever fucked, right? You got a disease. You can't get rid of it. Once an alcoholic, always an alcoholic. AA means always addicted. Why would the hardcore heavy hitters, the book chuckers, the cats first to throw it in your face, be the first ones to take a step back and go, I was wrong? It's because, first off, alcoholism is not a disease. And if it is a disease, we cure it every single day with health, with happiness. It's biology. That's all it is. So when you have the appropriate nutrition and a healthy lifestyle, guess what naturally happens in your brain and body? You lose all of the microscopic biochemical signals that drive you towards alcoholic behavior. What happens when you lose the drive towards alcohol, alcoholic behavior, alcoholic feelings, alcoholic actions? Are you still an alcoholic because if you drink alcohol, you might have one more? No! You are a healthy person that doesn't think and doesn't drink about alcohol. You cure the underlying conditions that drive alcoholic behavior. Whoa! Bill Wilson, the creator of AA, figured this whole thing out. What's up, God? Thank you so much, dude. He did this all on his own. Now check this out. It was so powerful, so important. He took it to his own hand-picked administration and they said, don't release this data. He said, dude, we're not going to support you. What do you mean you're not going to support me? We're out here trying to help people break their addictions and to fix the underlying reasons why they drink, and telling stories and all these things isn't getting the job done. But if they take care of their health and their nutrition and they develop a healthier lifestyle, they can go home and they'll never have to go back to the room. Yeah, we don't want that. We need them in the room. So they prevented him from releasing that research. They prevented him from writing a book similar to this. Here's what I did. I took all the research and all the absolute scientific biological facts that I proved on myself and worked with many others through and wrote 600 pages on how to do it, what to do, what it is. Dude, you're not craving alcohol, bro. You're craving sugar. You didn't sleep. Your hormones are wrecked, bro. Get your hormones on lock. And I promise you, your sugar cravings, your food cravings, your craving towards pleasure and toxicity, all of those things, they just magically go away. Is it magic or is it science, right? It's too easy. So the reason I come up and say all of this, and the reason why it takes me months to come back online, is because it takes a long time to write this many words, dude. 2 more apps just released, the official Beyond Sober app. So when you join Beyond Sober, there's no charge for it, by the way. You get access to the official Beyond Sober app. You get to watch your videos. You get to fill your cup. You got to journal with it. You get to talk to me. You get to talk to your own AI homie, dude. Everything you could ever possibly need to take care of your health and your happiness is in your pocket, dude. You don't need to go to a room. You don't need to talk about your past. You don't need to talk about your trauma. You don't need to make amends, dude. You don't need to reminisce on war stories. You don't need to fix anything. You just need to focus on who you are now. That's one of the biggest and most insane discrepancies is people take on the identity of broken. They go into rooms and they talk to people, me being one of those people they talk to, and they try and convince themselves and everyone around them that they are the sum of everything that's ever happened to them. That thing that happened when they were a kid, that's who they are. They're a victim, right? Or a survivor if they've stepped up a little bit. Yes, the app is called Beyond Sober. You can go to beyondsober.org/app, right? Or just type in Beyond Sober app. Just go to beyondsober.org. You'll see it right there. It's all right. Beyondsober.org. Hit the link in my bio or on my page. If you guys don't know where it's at, I don't know if it's around here somewhere. I haven't played with this in like forever. Beyondsober.org. Scroll down. You'll see the app. It's right there. Dude, it's killer. I even built a cooking app. Like, you want to track your calories, dude? You want to like become a chef? Bro, everything that I've used to get healthier and lose 25 pounds since January, dude. You don't see that? It's all in an app. I made it all for you guys. So here's the trip, man. This is why this retreat in Italy is so powerful, because it's about emotional addiction. We are very rarely addicted to substances. We're addicted to our own hormones. We're addicted to our own chemical cocktails. We are addicted to our own cortisol. We are addicted to our own bullshit. We're addicted to that story. We're addicted to that illusion. We're addicted to that idea. We are addicted to everything but what we think it is. What we think it is usually a temporary solution to what's actually happening in our brain and body, dude. It's a fact. Now, we gotta also understand that a majority of us are actively attempting to convince ourselves that we are or are not who we say and think we are. Whether that's to talking to someone like me, you jump in the program, dude, you sign up, we meet, we hang out, and you're telling me your past, you're telling me your problems, you're telling me your discrepancies, you're telling me what doesn't work, what you don't like, who said, they said, we said, I said, and I coulda, woulda, shoulda, and didn't, and bro, what are you doing? That's an addiction. The addiction is to the identity. It's the falsehood of self. If you knew how unstoppable and absolutely powerful you are, how terrorizingly incredible you are, you would never talk about yourself like that. You just wouldn't. And you wouldn't allow anyone to tell you otherwise. You also would not try and convince other people that they are just like you. Especially if it wasn't positive or optimistic or beneficial or moving people forward. You just wouldn't. So we got to understand that our chemical and hormone structures, the amount of everything we have in our body, dictates how we feel. You think a thought, it releases a chemical, that chemical gets in our body, we feel a feeling, that feeling makes us want to do something, and we do one of two things, a healthy thing or an unhealthy thing. Sometimes we do nothing. Nothing is still considered a healthy thing. So instead of us trying to like figure out why we like the substance and try and consume less of it, we don't do any work on who we've become and who we believe we are. I can't even tell you how many times this happened. Addiction is caused, hang on, by your hidden wound, 100%. We'll say it like this. Addiction isn't necessarily caused by anything. There's causation. Addiction is the inevitable repercussion of an unhealthy brain and an unhealthy body. Okay? Addiction is when the body has been starved long enough, and ideally it has found some type of sustenance or mechanism that helps the brain or the body continue functioning. Okay? That's another way of saying that if I don't eat food and my brain and body can expect beer, it is going to prioritize the beer because I'm not eating. But listen to what I just said. What would be different if I was eating? Do you think my brain and my body is naturally going to go, where's the beer? No. It's going to go, where's the protein? It's going to go, where's that meat? Where's them plants? Where's those cows? If I am actively taking care of myself and I'm not depleted for the most part, why would my brain or body naturally reach towards an easy fix? It wouldn't. That's not normal. That's not natural. That's not how the brain works. That's not even how the body works. We are trying to escape some type of feeling, which we've attached to our identity. I'm a sad person. I'm an anxious person. Thank you so much, Terry. I'm upset. I'm wounded. I'm hurt. I'm not enough, right? I don't bring value to this world. I have no purpose. She said this. He said this. That is an underlying condition. That is an emotional strain that is pushing you down here. When you are struggling to breathe, you're going to take a breath from anything. You could fart in my face. And if I'm breathing, oh, God damn, that's the best breath I've ever had, straight from your bungus. I'm struggling to breathe. I'm going to take whatever. So in this case, I'm going to reach towards whatever dampens that feeling. That feeling is very rarely true. Here's the thing. We can't even prove our feelings. We just feel them and we call them true. We say they're accurate. We say it is what it is. We say they are what they are. We come up with 1,000 reasons why how we feel is actually true. It's not true. Because the last time you thought the world was going to end, nothing happened. You're still here. Your brain didn't explode. It felt like it was going to. The last time you worried your absolute tiny little ass off, it changed nothing. But it felt real. We commit to that. We take on the identity as that. I'm anxious. I'm sad. I'm depressed. I'm broken. I'm hurt. I'm not enough. Don't have enough. I'll never be enough. Whatever it is. And we attempt to make that true, but it's not even on purpose, dude. Do you think you're actively out here trying to work against yourself, or do you think that happens in time? Do you think your brain adapts to everything you think, say, do, and feel, and more importantly, your environment? Who are you listening to? Why are you listening to that ass? He's a dick. And you're still like trusting him with like your life? What are you talking about? He's always steered you wrong, but he's called it love. That desperation is what we become addicted to. We become addicted to the feeling. Everything is just a feeling. I don't feel good. I want to feel better. I'm going to reach for a beer. I do feel good. I'm going to reach for some water. Or, depending on your practices, maybe you're a healthier person that has some unhealthy practices, like having some wine in a glass, and like, that's cool. That is cool. But my point is, the underlying condition is really just a hormone and chemical balance in the brain and body that most of us skip. That's why this exists, dude. That's why it's biology first. I have never, listen, this is what I was going to say earlier. 97% of the amazing people that I've worked with, one-on-one, whether it's 30 minutes, whether it's 3 months, okay? We eventually get to this point where I'm going like, cool, let's talk about your day-to-day, bro. Let's talk about like what it looks like. Let's talk about where you believe you were before you fell off, right? We're going to get the book, hellahealthybook.com. Or go to the website, beyondsober.org. It's everything is right there. Or hellahealthynutrition.com. You could also just go to Amazon and type in Cody Rain, and all my books and everything will pop up right there. Like this one is popping off, dude. I'm so happy. I got people sending me pictures of them holding this, and it is so cool. It's such a blessing, man. Holy crap. But let me get back to what I was saying. I go like, hey, dude, how did you feel? Like, not how do you feel now that you decided to drink and it's been kind of like a struggle since your last drink to stop. How were you feeling right before you took that drink? Did you feel confident? Did you feel healthy? Did you feel like everything was in alignment? Did you feel like you had everything worked out? Did you feel like you had a lot to look forward to? Were you really excited? Was there something like pending that, really had your attention? Were you getting enough sleep? Like, what were you eating? But they go, No, it was the opposite of that. Oh, oh, okay. So what you're saying is, if you were a little bit better slept, if you ate a little bit more, if you were excited about what tomorrow looked like, and there was nothing directly impending, that you probably wouldn't have drank? Yeah. Interesting. Interesting. What you just told me was that if you felt better, you would drink little or not at all. That is biology. That is science. That is not white knuckling. That's not, I said no for 2 months and I couldn't do it anymore. And I just let go. Bro, you were not focusing on your health at all. You got the one thing, the most important thing that there is back, your health. You got your brain, you got your body back. And you've been just sitting on your couch naked, eating Cheetos. No wonder you got bored. No wonder you felt like crap. No wonder you did. Bro, you're not even taking care of yourself. And then I go, hey, was there a time when you were like not drinking and you were doing really well? What did that look like? They go like, well, I had breakfast. I was going to the gym. I was going for walks, man. I had a girlfriend or a boyfriend or whatever. I was making money. They start describing my everyday life. I'm like, oh. So what you're saying is that you were doing really well when you were taking care of yourself, and then you stopped taking care of yourself for whatever reason, and that downward spiral, that downward motion, the gravity of your own laziness, not to be insulting, eventually became too heavy, and you decided that the weight of not feeling well was a good enough reason to try and feel better. Yeah. Got it. Got it. So what you're saying is you know the answer. Yeah. This happens so much. This happens so much. A majority of the amazing people I meet with were doing really well when they prioritize their health. That is not white knuckling. That is not a book. That is biology. When they ate enough protein, their brain and their body had enough energy. When they had enough protein in the morning, their protein, we're going to say the synthesis of the protein, the way the protein breaks down in their body, Faye, converted to glycogen. What does your brain use for fuel? Is it burgers? It's sugar, dude. Your brain runs on glucose. It runs on sugar. If you don't eat sugar or don't have protein, your brain doesn't have enough food. If your brain, which is an absolute idiot, doesn't have enough food, how do you expect to think happy, healthy thoughts? You can't. You won't. You want to know why? Your brain is starved. You're starving your brain, bro. I know you're thinking you're going to skip breakfast and do all this stuff, and it's not that bad. It's too easy to do. I'll just make a protein shake later, all that. Bro, you're literally disregarding one of the main elements that needs you to eat. You have to eat, bro. I don't mean just, why do you think a majority of people go straight to sugar when they quit drinking? Is it because they're assholes? Is it because there's something wrong with them? No. The sugar that they were getting from having mixed drinks or beers or wine or whatever, it's no longer showing up. The brain is now in starvation mode. It's sitting here going, not only are we not getting what we're used to getting, they're not replenishing it with anything else. So they're not even eating, right? So they're not getting the proteins in. I got to get the sugar from somewhere. Where's the quickest route to sugar? Oh, look, a cookie. Oh, look, a cake. Oh, it's a pie. I'm a DoorDash everything. This is why a lot of people gain a ton of weight. Not a majority. A lot of people gain a lot of weight when they quit drinking. It's because their brain and body is trying to compensate for the sustenance that was actually being provided with alcohol. Alcohol provides some benefits in small amounts. Just like nicotine, it's good for you in small amounts. Like we're not talking, no, not smoking. Actually, like having a little bit of nicotine is clinically beneficial for a lot of people. Scientists will take nicotine, not a lot, but they'll put it in their systems. It helps them think. It does all kinds of weird stuff. But when you're addicted to cigarettes, and that's where you get your nicotine, that's a problem. So we're going to sit here and go like, okay, cool. Well, if alcohol is a symptom and it is produced by an unhealthy condition, then what am I doing to prevent or improve that unhealthy condition. Most of us say, well, I exercise. What do you mean exercise? Well, I try and get my steps. How many steps do you think you average? I don't know. You see what I'm saying? If you're not obsessed with water, dude, this is protein soda and a LaCroix. I'll sip this all day long. It's 130 calories, man. This is what? 260, 32 ounces, dude? This is just protein and healthy calories and all this stuff. I'm gonna sip it. I'm gonna have all the energy I need all day long. I got my vitamins, got my proteins, got all this stuff all day long. We have one goal, dude. It's to focus on our goddamn health, dude. That is it. Happy, healthy people do not struggle with ideations. They do not struggle with substance abuse. They don't struggle with self-harm. They don't struggle with alcohol. They don't struggle with pills. They just don't. Why? It's because their brain and body already has everything that it's searching for in a quick fix. Paulina Vibes, what's up, girl? Hey, dude, I saw you. I think you were live, and I saw this shrine, dude, and I'm like, I think I recognize those crystals. Bro, your crystal wall is insane, bro. I'm like, it stopped me. And I was like, oh my God, dude. That thing has grown, dude. It's like a chia pet of goodness. It is monstrous, dude. It was like glistening. It was like catching the corner of my eye, dude. I was like, oh my God, bro. Like, you're straight up killing it, man. Terry, what's up? So yeah, that's the whole thing, man. That is the whole thing. And I wrote about it. It's in the book. It's like, it's all that stuff. Look, here's what happens. Here's the truth. I might send someone on their way. This happened yesterday, dude. Yesterday. Mike, this is our third conversation. What have you done different since the last 2 times? Nothing. Right. That's why you still feel like absolute dog shit. That's why you're crying right now. That's why you're upset. That's why you're reaching out to a professional. There's nothing I can say that is going to get that drink out of your hand. There's nothing that I could do. I'm not rappelling from the roof of your apartment complex through the window, bitch slapping you and kicking that fucking drink out of your hand. It's not happening. I apologize for the cussing. I'm not gonna I don't want to do that. It's not my job. That's your job. Hey, dude, thank you so much. It is your job to prioritize you. Nobody can take care of you the way that you can take care of you, and you're not even doing that. So how am I supposed to do it? I can't do it for you. Here's the interesting part. This is why your way is the only way that works. And I've seen this happen, right? I've heard about it, dude. People told me stories. Look, I can give you both the books. I can send you links to both the apps. I can give you the program. Absolutely no charge. I can introduce you to the veterans. I can get you involved in the community. I can get you a goddamn platform, and guess what? Nothing. Nothing happens. Because you think that receiving the tools is the same as using them. No, bro. That's not how it works. You must do the work. But we sit here and go, yeah, but it's too hard. So is surviving a neurochemical that's actively attempting to destroy your life and cause cancer in your body. You're doing that just fine. You don't mind having the hangovers. You don't mind having to apologize for all the things that you do. You don't mind wasting all your money. You don't mind that 80% of your life is actively getting worse, all because you think something magical is going to happen with one more drink. You can survive all that, but you can't survive a journal and just helping your brain get clear on what's important. You can't survive going outside and looking towards the sun to get some vitamin D for 10 minutes in the morning. Megan, is that too difficult for you, girl? You can't survive just opening an app and answering a couple questions to gear your brain towards things that are actually beneficial. What do you mean? You've survived everything that's ever happened to you, but you're afraid to be happy, dude. That's the trauma, man. Imagine this. Imagine this. Imagine you've got a kid. You got a baby. You probably do. And if you don't, just imagine it. And you're trying to give them the entire world. Everything that they've asked for. You want to go to Disneyland? I got tickets. You want to go to that concert? We got it. We got tickets. You what's your favorite? I got it. It's all right here. You have it right here. And I'm going, you're just telling them, just take it. It's yours. Just come to, no. What? What do you mean no? This is what you want. Yeah, but why are you hesitating? Like, it's right here. Like, you just reach your, yeah, but I don't know. The trauma is thinking that we don't deserve it. The trauma happens somewhere along the lines where we think that we're supposed to abuse ourselves by refusing the support. We're supposed to suffer, and if we suffer long enough, some magic will happen. Do you know how common that is? This is why only 4% of people reach out, dude. I'm sitting here looking at people going like, damn, if the thousands and 20,000 people that have moved through this program, if that's just the 4% of people that even know Beyond Sober exists and that there's other ways to do it, holy crap. What about the 96? What about 96 right there? I saw it. 96. What about the 96% of people that are afraid to take care of themselves, that are afraid to meet some random dude on the internet wearing 2 hats? You know how often I say that? Almost daily. I'm like, hey, what's up, girl? Hey, what's up, Jamie? How you doing? Well, what brings you to this side of the internet? Obviously, you got enough balls to hang out with random dudes on the internet, right? Right? That makes us laugh. That's funny. That's hilarious. Because that's what's happening. You are meeting a random dude off the internet, and we're just gonna laugh for a while, right? We're gonna break the anxiety. We're gonna figure out what actually needs our attention. We're gonna paint a totally different picture. We're gonna align all the tools. We're gonna make sure you have everything you need. And I'm gonna get you excited, bro. I'm gonna get you so stoked for what's to come. All you gotta do is stay where you are. All you gotta do is keep showing up. All you gotta do is a little bit of work. Not all of the work right now. A little bit today, a little bit tomorrow. The worst that's gonna happen with you prioritizing your health and happiness is a better life, dude. I tell people all the time, dude, all the time, increase your protein, bro. Eat more, half your body weight. Okay, I'm 165 right now, okay? I try and go for like 90 grams of protein. I usually eat between 120 and sometimes 211. I'm overdoing it. I've been doing this for like 9 years, okay? Really good at getting my protein in. Improve your protein. Drink half your body weight in what is that, ounces of water. So half your body weight in grams of protein, half your body weight in ounces of water, and just see what happens. Just see what happens. If you don't feel better, dude, sue me, question mark? There's nothing about the 2 recommendations that I just said that are gonna do you harm. What is so difficult about doing these simple things? Do you wanna know what the answer is, dude? Do you really wanna know? Do you wanna know why people don't do it? Can't be that easy. It's too easy. If it was that easy, everybody would do it. No, it's so easy, people just push it off till later. It's so easy that it's literally just not complicated enough. Nope, that can't, but you know how many excuses I hear, dude? Like, it's insane. Sometimes it's really frustrating. And sometimes that's why people come back. But most of the times, when people like do these very basic things, they see radical shifts in time. There's no magic pill. Like, you don't even realize that you figured it out until you forgot that you had a problem. You don't even realize that it's working until like, holy crap, I actually feel really good. Yeah. What do you do if you can't sleep without it? If you're referring to what do you do if you can't sleep without alcohol? The answer is you're not sleeping with alcohol. You might have a date with her, but she's not letting you sleep. You're not sleeping with alcohol. You're sedating yourself. This is what's happening, okay? You cannot get REM sleep, which is the sleep that we all try and slept, okay? You cannot get the sleep that you think you're getting with alcohol. Not physically possible. It's not possible. So sedation, what is sedation? Sedation is like going to the dentist and they knock you out. They put you under the gas, right? And once you're under the gas, you are sedated. You're heavily sedated. You are literally paralyzed. That's all that's happening. So you may have drank and blacked out, relaxed yourself to such a degree where one of your 50 hormones is keeping your eyes closed, right? But you are not asleep. You are resting hard. You are passed out. Now, if you're having a little bit of alcohol to take the edge off, and I mean like a little bit, if you're such a lightweight that having like a few sips of a drink, kind of like cough syrup, and you put it in your system, you're like, all right, that's good, I can do that. That's a different story. But I used to do it to where I'm like, nope, I need 2, 3, 4 shots. I need to plan my drink. 11 o'clock, I'm gonna have my last double shot around 11. So when I get in bed, I'm just ready to go to sleep. I'm not ready to go to sleep. This is why you could sleep for 12 hours and still be absolutely obliterated and exhausted. You could spend your whole day trying to like straight up, recover from your night's sleep because you didn't sleep. Alcohol causes insomnia. Alcohol is the reason you can't sleep. Let me tell you what else it causes. Anxiety. Most people drink because they have regular anxiety or social anxiety, pretty much the same thing, different circumstances. But what they don't understand is that just because they can't feel it doesn't mean it's not happening. Your nervous system is still dysregulated. Alcohol dysregulates your nervous system. That's where you feel anxiety. That's why it feels like you're being chased by a lion when you're just standing in the grocery store. It's not because you have anxiety. It's not yours. You didn't pick it up. You're not subscribing to it. You have a dysregulated nervous system and a series of processes that trigger your fight or flight, specifically from your subconscious. Guess what disrupts your nervous system? Alcohol, right? So you drink because you have anxiety? No, you have anxiety because you drink alcohol. You're drinking because you're depressed, dude? I get it. That's wrong. You are depressed because of the alcohol. Alcohol is a neurotoxin. It is a drug. It literally destroys the cells in your body. There's a reason why your depression doesn't go away when you drink. It's because it's making it worse. Alcohol actively destroys mental health, dude. I drink enough. If you guys are brand new here, what's up? Dude, I'm a former alcoholic. I drink 30 to 50 shots a day, right? Addicted for 2.5 years. In between drink, every hour, 2 or 3 drinks just to calm my nerves. This wasn't like the next day I felt funny. No, within the hour. I caught every hour, a shot, 2 shots, sometimes 3 shots. Didn't want to waste it all because I didn't need to go to the store. But the truth with this is, just because you can't feel it doesn't mean you don't feel bad. What's up, Stacy? What's up, Connie? What's going down? Just because you're numb doesn't mean you're not in pain. So we sit here and we find all these solutions, all these reasons why it can't be true, won't be true. If I can't feel it, it doesn't hurt. If I don't know there's a problem, there must not be one, right? That's the blinders. But the truth with this is, the thing that we're using to solve the problem is what's causing more of the problem. It wrecks your psychological health. This is really easy. I want you just try this. Try this. Think about everybody you know. Not everyone. Think about the people you associate with the most. Think about the people that you actually enjoy the most. Do they drink a ton of alcohol? Is alcohol a daily or nightly kind of, circumstance that you could expect? Yeah, every time I go over there, they're drinking. They always get stocked. They always are the people that you enjoy being around and don't worry about drink stupid amounts of alcohol or even casual amounts of alcohol. They don't. No, they don't. Most of the time they don't. Why is that? Because it disrupts their nervous system. They feel the poison. They feel the intoxication. They feel the disconnect from themselves. Happy, healthy people never want to disconnect from how good they feel. Ever. Not even one time. They would never do that. Now I want you to go on the other side and think about the people in your life who are a little testy, a little bit of an ass, right? They're unpredictable. They're kind of rude, dude. Like, why are they so short-tempered, okay? They always have this kind of like lull to them. They always have something negative to say, right? They're usually bringing up old shit all the time. They're never really focused forward. They look probably a little bit heavy set, a little bit. Think about them. Do they drink? Is alcohol part of their life? That's why they look like that. We can look at people and go like, they definitely drink. We can listen to people and go like, yeah, that's not something a healthy person would say. We can smell people that drink. Like it's so obvious. It's so insane. It's crazy. It's weird. These days, it's weird that people still prioritize the substance. You're sitting there going like, yeah, this is a good idea. I want to keep this in my life. Dude, I deal with people every single week that I'm like, if they would just drink less alcohol, they would be way more tolerable. Way more tolerable, dude. Everything would be better. Everybody's lives would improve if they stopped consuming. Bro, Joe, my man, dude. People say you always, hey, it's your eyebrows, G. Hey, happy 4 years, dude. I caught your 4-day post. That was clever, dude. I love seeing that. Jessica Kent in the building. What's up, girl? Uh-oh, got a button popping off. Let me do that. That's weird. TikTok goes, are you still a real person? Slide this little puzzle piece. What do you think is popping off, dude? Are you upset? Hey, Jess, what is up, girl? I see you popping off too, man. Hopefully you're getting more views than we are. Dude. So just kind of recapping all of these things, man. It's so, I'll tell you what, oh my goodness. I appreciate you, brother. It is just one of those things where it's this solution is it's so simple. We won't do it, dude. Good evening from London. Dude, that's what's up. I'm going to be out in Italy on September 1st. I'm going to be in Sardinia, dude. So recapping, if you're new here, I am an international best-selling author, right? With 2 books, actually 3 books. You can, what is the first one? Is You Can Overcome Anything Despite the Barriers in Life. The official Beyond Sober book. And my latest one, Hella Healthy. I'm not here to promote books, but they exist. They're a part of all of my accolades. I'm also an international thought leader and global behavior specialist. I work with people all around the world in different continents. I've got 4 programs: Beyond Sober, Unlabeled Recovery, Bending Waves, the Mantis program. I have communities. My biggest one right now is called Beyond Sober Nation. We're coming up on 100,000 followers over there. I'm just out here to give you every single new development that I could possibly get my hands on and develop myself for the betterment of society, for the betterment of the world. I deliver and create exactly what I wish existed when I was at my lowest. When I was turning yellow, dude, when I was addicted to literally bottles of liquor every single day just to stay alive, I wish someone like me and people in the community would have shown up and be like, hey, Cody, this ain't you, bro. You don't need to do this. Let's do this. Let's get involved. Let's focus on your health. Let's taper down. Let's switch this, bro. You don't deserve this. I've dedicated my life to actively improving my own life, but impacting the lives of every single person around me. My whole mission, my whole goal is to revolutionize health and recovery. Not just another, sober thing. Sober is not the point. So that's why the program is called Beyond Sober. The sober is stupid. I mean, plenty of people that could use a drink. Dude, sober means nothing. Sober doesn't even mean happy. Sober just means not under the influence of alcohol. You're not drunk. There's plenty of sober people and they all suck, dude. Identity. Anti-shame, dude. Pro-truth. It doesn't come down to who you thought you were, what you did, who you were forced to be back then. It comes down to who you are right now and who you know you can be. We're here to inspire and to promote healthy alternatives to your path. Your way is the only way, dude. You ain't me. You can't do it my way. But here's my tools. I want you to take my tools. See, I've already signed this stuff. I got to ship out like 4 of these books that have been signed. Here's all the tools. Do it better than me, dude. And teach someone along the way. Right? I'm here to support you. I meet with every single person that joins the program. I'm signing books by hand, dude. I'm out here going like, here's 2026, bro. Drink water. Like, dude, we're doing the thing, man. So I'm in this cockpit. I'm in the lab all day, every day, doing everything I possibly can to create the content that invokes an action. Maybe I say something. Maybe I've said something today that made you go like, shit, you know what? I haven't really been prioritizing my water at all. When I was feeling good, I was drinking a lot more water. Maybe I'll start doing that. Or maybe I'm going, hey, dude, don't be a part of the 4% or be a part of the 4. Like, there's only 4% of people that ask for help, dude. You don't need to be embarrassed to reach out and say what's up. Hit the website, take the scan, do that stuff. Dude, it's not embarrassing to hang out with me, dude. Like, we're just sitting here chatting it as homies. And I just happen to see your life from a different perspective, and I can help you like obtain that. That's my goal. That's my mission. It's very rare that your way doesn't work. And that's why people keep showing up. They're doing the work that is designed for them. I might meet you, dude, and go like, you know what, dude, let's not read it all. Like, I don't want you to, you got manic eyes? You have manic eyes. I know, because I'm manic right now. That explains a lot. Manic and passionate are pretty interesting, right? I'm pretty dialed into my eyeballs and sockets. I don't know about manic. Manic as in overly excited. Yeah, for sure. So here's where I'm going with all of this, dude. I don't want you to look at your life and go, this is all that there is. I don't want you to look at your circumstances and go, well, I guess this is the end game. If you're not stoked about the next 10 minutes from now, if you don't look at tomorrow and go, fuck yeah, then we got some work to do. That doesn't mean there's something wrong. What's up, Murchie? Murchie? What's up? That doesn't mean there's something wrong. That means there's something that could be optimized. I've said this for years. Dude, if I died right now, I die happy and healthy. What else is there? What else is there? What does rich mean? Like, I'm not rich. I am wealthy with abundance and life and gratitude and peace and family and like all these things. I've been dead before. My heart has stopped. I remember dying. I remember them bringing me back to life. They brought me back to life to tell me that I was still dying from liver failure. What? That's crazy. But I know for a fact that the number one thing we're here to do is to create a brain and a body, a machine and an environment that actually feeds and fuels itself. So we're stoked to wake up, man. We're stoked to get to the day. And it sounds weird, dude. Keep in mind, the only difference between me and you is I've been practicing this for like 9 years, dude. That's why I go like, hey, let me see where you're at and we'll figure it out, right? Dude, I wake up stoked. Like, I literally wake up and go like, I gotta check my emails. Not because I have work to do, but because I'm stoked to see who reached out. I'm stoked to see who's in the program. I'm stoked to see who's on my calendar. I'm stoked to meet new people. I'm stoked for the struggle. I'm stoked for the stresses, man. All these things, headphones, thank you so much, dude. All these stresses, all these weird things that a lot of people use to like anchor themselves into nothing, I'm looking at as tools to do it better, to do it my way, to try a different way. Now I'm at a point where I'm building software so I can be better for you. How can I record more content? I got a camera here, I got a camera here. How can I record more content, cut it up faster, and get it to you quicker? How can I get the message out? How can I do this? I gotta study, I gotta build, I gotta grow, I gotta work, I gotta write, I gotta develop, I gotta talk, I gotta communicate, man. I gotta work with people, I gotta get involved, I gotta do all this. I'm stoked for what I'm doing. But I built this. Like, I had to lose it all first. I lost my house, car, job, money, friends. I'm a former felon, dude. I can't vote. I can't get into Canada. Dude, I had 2 ankle bracelets. I spent 6 years on probation, dude. Like, I've been through it. But that helped shape me into someone that can support others so they don't go through the same stuff. So they don't use those similar circumstances to beat themselves up and reach for a substance instead of reaching for a homie. You see how that works, dude? Like, the same information can be utilized to make our lives more difficult or more amazing. I have trouble labeling myself forever an alcoholic or I'm diseased. Bro, I love that. So, Robin, check it out. You don't have to identify as anything. You are not required to even use your name, okay? That's why I have a program called Unlabeled, just because of that. Because of what you just said. I have trouble labeling myself forever an alcoholic. Even if that was true, what does that change? What is the point? Whatever you call yourself is your limitation. You gotta think about this. Dude, I got a piece of content. I'm looking at it right here, dude. Look, right here. It's ready to go. Right there, okay? Wrong button. Right there. I'm cutting it up. Right here. This is me. I don't know if you can see that. Anyway, right here. That piece of content is going, I don't bash AA, but I do bash indoctrination. I do bash telling a 25-year-old kid that he is forever fucked. I do bash attempting to convince people that once an alcoholic, always an alcoholic. I do bash attempting to manipulate someone into thinking that they are seriously fucked. Nope. It doesn't matter how well you do. Doesn't matter how big a family you create. Doesn't matter how much money you make. It doesn't matter how well you take care of yourself. It doesn't matter if you become the president, or it doesn't matter. Nothing matters. You know why? Because you're an alcoholic. Do you understand how absolutely belittling and insane that is? Even if that was true, why would you force and convince someone else that they need to remind themselves daily or else? That's fear. That's a fear-based tactic. That's me trying to convince you that you don't have the brain power to think outside the potential pains. A lot of people, this is a massive topic. I write about it, right? It's right here in the book. There's people that refuse to let these labels go. And they will never live any higher than what that label allows. So you're a good man, right? You're a good person. That's amazing. But you're fucking alcoholic, bro. What? You haven't drank in 25 years. You know, if you didn't tell me that you're an alcoholic, I wouldn't just assume that. Like, you could just say, hi, I'm Jeremy. What's up, dude? Like, what are you talking about? If I did not wear a shirt that said sober on it, Beyond Sober, if you didn't know who I was, if I just like, is that Pauly Shore? And we met on the street, and I never told you that 9 years ago, longer than that, I once died from stage 4 cirrhosis, bro, like cardiac arrest and all that shit, that I'm a liver failure survivor, that I'm Beyond Sober, you would never guess. You would never know. As a matter of fact, when I go to the doctor's office and they do scans on me and they do blood work and all that shit, they also can't tell that I've ever had alcohol. What are you talking about? You're telling me that I don't think about alcohol, I don't drink alcohol, I smell alcohol, I taste alcohol, I cook with alcohol, I pour alcohol, I hang out with people that drink, and I'm the alcoholic. I don't even drink, dude. What are you talking about? That's crazy. But for either an organization or a person, which normally comes from people that we know and that we respect, like our parents, you're an alcoholic, bro. Don't feed him. Don't give him that. Don't do that. Hey, is it okay to wait? Shut the front door, bro. Quit treating me like a disease. Why are you talking to me like that? Bro, it's insulting. I might as well just drink since you guys all think I'm an alcoholic. I haven't had alcohol. You see what I'm saying? It's crazy. But people think, and I've worked with a lot of people, keep in mind, thousands of people every single day. If you haven't chatted with me, hit the website, hit the link in my bio, look at the program, get on the counter, let's talk about it. We can debate it, dude. Let me help you with this. Because here's the trip. There are people that I've worked with that go like, you know what, dude? I don't feel safe enough to break the label. Like, it's really important. I love your name, Aiden Otero. It's important that I remind myself right now. Maybe one day I'll let the label go. Maybe one day I'll stop saying that I'm sober. Maybe one day. But right now, I really need to stick to the alcoholic thing. I need to do this. And keep in mind, that's just fear, right? That's a little bit of anxiety, right? That's basically saying, I don't trust myself. I need that reminder. And until I do enough for me, like reading the books, like, drinking the water, like developing a routine, until that happens, I need that subconscious pressure, right? A lot of people, keep in mind, I have a chapter in here called spite, okay? It's all about using those negative connotations and experiences to your benefit. The hatred for your family and your friends and the labels and society and all that stuff. Taking all of that and using it to get healthier and happier and sticking it to the man. I don't want you to like develop a personality around being a hater and your whole world is built on spite and you can't enjoy it. But the point is to use that rage and that anger and those passions, right? And those disconnects, right? And miscommunications and the wishes and the wants and the worries. Use that to drive yourself further into the version of yourself that you actually prefer, dude. But it takes time, right? That's why the success rate of Beyond Sober is about 97%. That's because all you have to do is focus on your health. The program's 6 weeks long. That's how long it takes for your brain and body to recalibrate. Since your last drink, Frojo, you know this. It takes 4 days for alcohol to completely process out of your body. And at that point, you're just as sober as anybody else on the planet. Nope. You're not less sober than someone that's been in AA for 40 years. You are just as sober as that old fuck that won't stop talking about how much more sober he is than you. 4 days sober is the biological timeline it takes for alcohol and ammonia and toxins to process out of your gorgeous body. And you are back to being as sober as you were when you were born, dude. In extreme circumstances like mine, maybe 5 or 6 days. But that's probably not you. You're not addicted to 30 to 50 shots a day, okay? Now that we know that, the program's 6 week long. So I'm out here helping you reshape the way you look at yourself and your body and your brain, your environment and your past and your future and your struggles and all those things. If we could stick this out for 6 weeks, you got a whole life to be excited about, dude. A whole life. And here's the better part. It's front loaded. It means I don't need you to graduate. I don't need you to take the whole thing. I don't need you to stay in it. As a matter of fact, Frojo, I've been saying this a lot lately. When you figure it out, stop reading, dude. I don't want you reading that book unless you're benefiting from it. I don't want you clicking all the buttons in the app unless it's moving you forward, dude. No, I'm not trying to get you into a system where you're going to have to stay. It's not this way or forever or that way forever. No, it is this way forever, which is literally how it's built, or this way for as long as it's necessary. Once you realize that you got you handled, get out of the program. Jump out of the community. So block me on TikTok. Stop watching my stuff. Get out of the apps, dude. I don't want you on the calendar. I don't want you reading my stuff. It is there to make sure you don't need it anymore. That's identity reconstruction. When you focus on your health and you feel good, why would I be necessary? I wouldn't. Frojo, you stopped watching my content once you started taking care of yourself. You're like, oh, I haven't seen him in a while. I stopped going to his page. I stopped looking for him. Oh yeah, I forgot. Dude, you graduated out of benefiting from my content. Yes, it's still, binge worthy. Yes, it still packs value, but it's not necessary for your journey anymore. That's because you've grown into a better person, a better version of yourself. That's the whole point, man. Because we love you. Paulina, I appreciate you, girl. Thank you so much. With that said, I can feel this frog in my throat. I gotta say, if you ain't quit 2 years, dude, I'm stoked to see you. It's been a while, dude. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today, dude. I just randomly went live on a whim. I was washing my hands. It was like playing with the turntables, and I'm like, I'm gonna wash my hands and then see who pops on. I've been cutting up content like all day long. Just wrote a bunch of emails, dude. It has been insane, dude. Hang on real quick. What if I'm ready to quit, but the stress around me just isn't ready to quit? The stress around you isn't you. It has nothing to do with you, real quick. Galaxy, I want you to pay attention to this. There is no stress around you. I know that sounds weird. There's only stress within you. Unless you are literally being forced into a box, unless there are clamps on your arms and you are feeling the pressures, and that is the stress. The only stress that you're experiencing is what you choose to experience. Have you tried not giving a shit? When was the last time you stopped giving a fuck? Ever? Look, they're stressed. This is real life stuff. I talk about it in the book. Look, let them cry. Their tears are not your emergency. Let it burn down. Just because you have a hose doesn't mean you have to put that fire out. Let them figure it out. Just because they're struggling doesn't mean you're supposed to come to the rescue. Fuck them, fuck their friends, fuck their family. Fuck everything they stand for. They are not you. You are not, under any circumstances, regardless of how you feel, obligated to stress yourself out because they are stressed. I don't care what my neighbors are doing. Unless the 7-year-old is here literally in tears, I don't care what's happening. I don't need to care. It doesn't matter. I'm not out here wondering, is Terry okay? What about Galaxy? Did they show up? Are they paying attention? Dude, fuck no, it's not a part of my life. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be a part of yours. And you could say, well, yeah, it's my mom, it's my friends. And who convinced you that their drama is your pressures? Who convinced you that you're supposed to stress on their behalf? The world's burning whether you like it or not. Doesn't matter how you feel about it. Why are you giving your attention to shit you can't even control? Why are you giving your emotions away to people that can barely even control their own? I promise you, you don't have stresses like that. You have commitments, you have directions, you prioritize things that you think need your attention. They don't. If it's not your health, if it's not your happiness, if it's not making you money, if it's not moving you forward, if it's not your body, if it's not your brain, if it's not your rest, not your food, not your sleep, if it has nothing to do with any of that, it is not your responsibility. You have obligations like we all do. I got to show up. I got to meet. I got all this stuff, right? So just because we may share a little DNA doesn't mean I'm obligated to help them 100%. As a matter of fact, because we're related, I'm not going to help you, dude. Find someone else. Like, the fact that you're asking me is weird. My point with this is the stress is the only thing. This is module 1 of Beyond Sober, by the way. Like, I'm not telling you, this isn't just off the cusp. Like, it is the program. Like, when you get into the program, when you open the Beyond Sober book and Hella Healthy, it opens with everything that I'm talking about. The only reason we're upset is because we give our emotions to it. We think it matters. We think that if we stop worrying, in the same way that if we stop labeling ourselves, something bad will happen. Nothing is going to happen if you stop giving a shit. As a matter of fact, your life is going to improve. I have a whole chapter called Do Less. Do less caring. Who cares? Why does it matter? And just say that. Just when it comes up, just go and. Wait. You have to practice not giving a shit, though. And it feels weird. You know how many people I've seen online be like, I set my first boundary. I said no. Yeah. People whose stresses are around them finally said no. And their whole nervous system is absolutely shot and wrecked for the next few minutes because they said no. They protected themselves. They protected their stress. There's necessary and unnecessary stresses, dude. I'm hungry. That's a necessary stress. They're hungry. They need to go to the goddamn kitchen. Like, what? I'm not gonna. What are you talking about? The reason I say this is we believe that we're obligated through bloodlines, through friendships, through government assistance, whatever, that we're supposed to think, feel, act, and do things a certain way. And if we don't, we're doing something wrong. I also want you to remember this, dude. This is for all 100 of us. It's only difficult for good people. This is only difficult for good people. There's plenty of people out there that don't care, dude. And they will take advantage of us. And they do it every fucking day. Do you want to know why? Because we don't want to hurt their feelings. Because we don't want to stress anyone out. Because we want to keep the peace. Whose peace are we keeping, dude? The people that don't care, that keep taking advantage of us, dude? We're not even willing to fight for our own peace, yet it's the one thing that we want. We think when they stop asking, we get to take a break. Dude, you deserve that peace, whether you serve them or not. You deserve to feel good and happy and confident and structured and safe in your own environment when you say no. But if you don't practice saying no, dude, you're never going to feel how good it feels, man. You're never going to give yourself the privilege of knowing what it feels like to stand in your own energy and go, I fucking deserve this, dude. I'm going to teach them how to treat me. I'm tired of being a people pleaser. I am tired of going above and beyond. I'm tired of taking on their stresses. I've taught them how to treat me, and they keep doing the same thing, and I'm not changing anything, but today is the goddamn day. All right? I'm done. Now, you may feel that way on the inside. I'll see you later, Frojo. Good to see you, brother. You may feel that way on the inside, but if you're not practicing, it's always going to feel foreign. It's always going to feel like you're doing something wrong. I'm the first to say no, dude. I love saying no. Actually, I practice saying no less because of how good at saying no I am. I don't even care. Someone can ask me, hey, do you want to do this? Nope. Because I don't. But I will. I'm going to be honest with how I feel in that moment. I don't want to do that. Someone just asked me, hey, we need some help. Do you want to help us? No. Oh, will you? Sure. I am not sugarcoating this, dude. Terry, I'm not sugarcoating how I feel about the circumstance. I'm also not going to explain why I feel the way that I feel, Sherry. I'm not out here trying to help you understand why I don't want to help you. Bro, I don't. My stomach hurts. You don't need to know that. I got other stuff to do. I want to hang out with Sherry. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't owe you anything, but I owe myself everything. This is self-love, dude. This is what it looks like. It looks like saying no. It looks like feeling like you're doing something wrong. It feels like things are going to get worse before they get better. And here's what happens. When you first start saying no, you expect some turnaround. You expect people to get real hypey. You expect them to just straight up create resistance. And you start preparing for that. Your anxiety peaks before things even happen. Why is it so scary? Saying no is so scary because it's rejection. We don't like feeling rejected. Bella, no, you can't have that. It's a no. Do you feel good when someone says no to you? You're showing up and you're most vulnerable. You're asking for help. You're part of the 4% of people that ask for help. And then you get turned down, man. That's rejection sensitivity. It doesn't feel good to be told no at all. You're not supposed to. We assume that we can have everything, and we really can, right? I mean, we deserve it. Why can't I have it? So you got to remember this. You being so considerate, Bella. Remember, if you weren't such a good person, Colby, if you weren't such a good person, you wouldn't feel bad for saying no. What you're doing at that point is you're living the emotion on their behalf. And you don't want them to feel what you're already feeling. So you're sitting here going, I don't want them to feel, okay, all right. So you sacrifice yourself. You give up the one thing that is yours, your time and your energy. Anita, I appreciate you. You look at this and go, you know what? Because I kind of feel obligated to. I know what I'll do. I'll just do this later. I'll just put this down. I'll just stop reading. I'll bookmark it. We'll get back to this. Part 4, the deep work, okay? The rooms I begged to die in, and a year that put me back together. We're about to leave biology and walk into a story. I'll just read this later. What do you need? You sacrifice yourself because you care, dude. You wouldn't hurt in the ways that you do if it didn't matter to you. Cactus, what's up, G? If it wasn't important to you on some psychological level, it would be easy to say no. But you don't like people saying no to you. Because when you need help, doesn't it make sense that you've earned it by saying yes to all these different things that you would have normally said no to? We're racking up. We're trying to find reasons why we're a good person. And every time we say yes to something that we really truly do not want anything to do with, we are basically going, my value is in serving. My value is in sacrificing myself. Look how much pain I'm willing to be in because I love you so much. Bella, is that love, dude? Listen to what I'm saying. What if I said I'm actively letting a puppy starve right now to be with you? What? Yeah. Something's dying so we can hang out. That's how much I love. What? That's crazy. No. Your willingness to sacrifice yourself, your willingness to hurt yourself on their behalf is not love, dude. It's self-sabotage. You're sitting here, it's self-worth. We're sitting here going, my time, my energy is not as valuable and important as theirs. That's all that's happening when you say yes to things. You're straight out going, you know what? How'd that new wing pop out? Hey, Cactus, check it out, bro. Woo! I love it, dude. You guys are the first to see this tattoo. I wasn't planning on showing you anything, but you asked, man. Look at this tatty, bro. This thing is absolutely insane. My homie Max Beers, this hurt a lot. The inside right here, bro, this little elbow pit, that hurt a lot, dude. So we'll eventually get to this. But dude, this is a actual, genuine, official Polynesian tattoo. Actually had to become basically accepted for lack of better words, into the Polynesian culture. And this was all freehand, dude. This is crazy. Like, it blows my mind every single day. I'm sitting here looking at it going, I can't believe this is on my body, dude. It was officially submitted to like the top Polynesian like tattoo organizations, man. But this is freehand. So I put the video out and it was only like this piece. And then I went back in and he did this second piece and tied this top tattoo into the bottom. You can see they're a little bit different here. This one's like 2.5 years old. This is fresh. This is only like 3 weeks. But yeah, dude. So the trip with this is we did a 3-hour intake. Yeah, Bella, freehand. A 3-hour intake, which means he was asking me questions. He was just getting to know me for hours. And he's one of my best friends, dude. Like, we just met, like, recently, in the last, like, couple months, okay? We've been planning this tattoo for about a month, 2 months prior to the first session. And I got this tattoo on my death anniversary. Like, you think that, like, recovery isn't important to me? This was a July 11th, right? 2017 is when my heart stopped and my liver failed from alcohol, okay? 9 years later, I got this tattoo on the same day. So we planned this for months. I said, hey, bro, I got a really, really big day. What's up, Will? I got a big day popping up, man, and I want you to be the guy to celebrate with me. So we did a 3-hour intake on my anniversary, 9 years Beyond Sober. And he's like, all right, I think I know what I'm going to do. So he just went with his pens, dude. He free-handed just like the basic outlines. And then, dude, we were there for 11 hours just doing the elbow, just doing this piece right here, which is everything from this line. So all of that, it looked like I was like Predator, like one of his suits or whatever, his chains or whatever, just like lumped on. It was insane. It hurt a lot for a long time. And then I went back 2 weeks later and he extended this whole thing, dude. Like, it is just bananas, bro. Absolutely insane. It's something that I'm very proud of. And here's what's crazy is this is a freestyle based on how he feels about me. Every single thing here, like waves, everything here is an interpretation of my soul. So that experience, dude, is out of this world. I'll never, ever, ever forget that, dude. And we're super close, dude. Like, he's out, he's driving around right now. He's out in like Oregon. He's in San Diego. He's one of the best tattoo artists in the world. I'm like so beyond privileged to just know this guy. His name's Max Beers. If you guys type in like Instagram, I'm going to be building his websites out in the next few months or so. But dude, he is tattooed from head to toe, bro. Every piece of his face, bald head, tatted everywhere. Polynesian, tribal warrior. Oh my God. This dude looks so cool, man. And he's such a good person. So to get a tattoo and like have a conversation for that long, you know, it's a really, really intimate process, dude. Like, it's as close to like authentic as you can get if you like went to Hawaii and had them like tap a tattoo onto you, dude. Getting, for lack of better words, ordained by someone who is the culture, lived in Hawaii, he's a part of the whole Polynesian culture, and tattoos Polynesian for a living, man. It was just, oh my God, it was just amazing, dude. And so, you know, this is a different type of suffering, though. I suffered on behalf of me. This right here is just a representation of growth and strength and life and death. More importantly, embodiment. You know, when I'm releasing content, when I'm writing books, I'm not just typing words, dude. I'm leaving my soul on these pages. You can flip to any section right here and learn something about yourself. Healthy is something you are. There's a difference between a person who is performing health and a person who is being healthy. The performer wakes up and checks off their list and white knuckles through the day and collapses at night. The being healthy person is just living inside a body that works, doing the things that work for the body without it being a performance, okay? The difference between those two people looks small from the outside. That's another way of saying sobriety and health are usually a performance for most people. People will wake up and do healthy things and be a horrible person. People will talk about they're sober. Sober is their personality. Alcoholic is their personality. It's performance. They're not embodying the truths. They are not taking in the truths and the realities of what these things mean. They might do healthy things or do sober things, but they are not a sober person, sober in their soul. They're not going beyond that. They're not getting healthier. They're just not hurting themselves. In this space, man, which I've been in for a very long time, I've seen the performers, dude. I've seen the cats that are just, they look good on the outside, but they're wilting away on the inside. That's because sober and recovered are not the same thing, dude. Sober is their soul, dude. Here, identity reconstruction, identity, man, becoming, the art of evolution. That's what Beyond Sober is all about. Because I don't care if you don't drink. I care if you care about yourself. And if I could help you care about yourself just a little bit more with a couple more tools and some new perspectives, which is this tattoo, dude, we're done. The point, just keep in mind, dude, I know plenty of people who are sober and wasting their life, dude, who have the one thing that millions of people are struggling to obtain right this very second, and they're just squandering it. They're just throwing it away. They still hate themselves. They still hate their, environment. They're struggling in place. They're not moving forward. They hate the people around them. They're doing the same things, just not drinking. That is sad, dude. Chris, 3.5 years for you? Shit is hard. What do you mean it's hard? Okay, look. You're talking about biology, bro. I'm telling you this. HellaHealthyBook.com or HellaHealthyNutrition.com. Dude, this is 600 pages. Or get the program. Or get the apps. Dude, it's all there. Look. Sober is not hard, dude. Listen to what I'm saying. Getting sober takes 4 days. That's it. The peak, the hardest sober is ever going to be is in the 4 days of it getting out of your body. After that, you're in recovery. Or you're recovering. 3.5 years later, dude, and life is still hard, sober is not hard. Sober has nothing to do with what you call hard. If you're not actively changing, shifting, growing in your lifestyle, all you're doing is not drinking. That means you're the same person that wishes they could drink, which means you're just as equally as unhealthy as you were when you were drinking or before that, and you're changing nothing. If you do nothing new, you get nothing new. Nothing is going to be better. You're never going to feel better. I talk about this. Why do you think I wrote the book? Many books, right? Look, the biology first recovery book for people sobriety didn't fix. You are the person I wrote this for because sobriety is not real. Sober is. And if sober sucks, it's because you're not focusing on your biology. You're just white knuckling through what you call sober. Sober is just life. You were born sober. You were sober until you messed that up. And now you're back to being sober, okay? If not being intoxicated still sucks, that's not because of sober. That's because of you. You are not eating the protein. You are not going to the gym. You're not going for walks. You're not setting a bedtime. You're not saying nice things. You're not hanging around nice people. You're not drinking more water. You're not focused on your nutrition. You don't have a meal plan. You're not out here actively building and growing and shaping your body. You're not challenging yourself. You're not doing anything new. 3.5 years since a neurotoxin that was attempting to murder you got out of your body and it still sucks. That's biology. That's science. What's up, girl? That is science. I'm dead serious with this. Happy, healthy people don't go, it's been 3.5 years and it still sucks. It's so hard. No, it's not. No, sober is not hard. Life is difficult. But if you're not becoming someone that can handle life, then all that's saying is you choose to remain someone that would prefer a drink. I prefer being someone that can't handle the stresses that life throw at me, and I prefer to remain someone that could potentially throw it all away. That's what sober is. That's the difference. Sober means you're in between drinks. And if you're 3.5 years out and you're still in between drinks, unfortunately, dude, you're not doing the work. But the good news is the blueprint's right there. The blueprint's right there. The blueprint's right there. That's why we have the programs. That's why we have all that stuff. It's all written. It's all spoken. It's all on the podcast. This will all be on the podcast, so you can listen to it back. It's all transcribed. It's all on Substack. It's all everywhere. But I'm telling you this, dude. If you put the drink down and life still sucks, it's biology. That's it. That's the answer. Can I ask for advice? Sure, I can't give it to you because I'm not you, but I think I got enough power to struggle through one more question. I've been following you for quite some time now, but still struggle a bit with alcohol. Dude, that's totally cool. That's totally normal. There's nothing wrong with struggling with alcohol, but here's the trip. You're not struggling with alcohol. That's the illusion. You're struggling with yourself. Because here's the answer. If you felt better and you were doing better, would you drink the same? Would you still blame alcohol? Would you still say you struggle with alcohol? The answer is no, you wouldn't. Because happy, healthy people don't struggle with alcohol. It's just not a normal occurrence. It's like saying, like, hungry people struggle with hunger. But if you're not hungry, how could you struggle with hunger? What? You die. Chris, dude, it is awesome, man. You can go to Amazon and just type in hella healthy, or hellahealthybook.com, dude. The easy peasy. I'll find a way to like put links in here somewhere. But yeah, dude, it is super dope. Like once I launched Hella Healthy, dude, it just like took off, man. I'm so happy, dude. Homie's in here with it right now, and he's like, dude, love the book. I love the book, dude. It took 9 years to write the book, dude. Alcohol isn't the problem, it's the solution to the problem. That's the most untrue thing I've almost ever heard, dude. Alcohol is not the problem. If it's not the problem, it can't be the solution to the problem either. That's the illusion. That's the delusion. Alcohol is what causes a majority of the things that we call a problem. It disrupts the way we look at the issue and we call it a problem. It disrupts our brain and our body, lowers our chemicals and our hormones. So everything appears 80% worse. But trying to solve the problem with the problem is the problem. Believing that alcohol has any potential other than destruction is the delusion. That's the marketing. That's the advertising. That is the trillion-dollar industry attempting to convince you that you are invincible and one drink isn't that bad. There's been studies in Ireland, in Canada, and the United States, all pointing to the inevitable conclusion that there is no such thing as a healthy amount of alcohol at all. Zero. Casually drinking is considered one drink every 2 weeks. That's how detrimental it is. Did you know alcohol causes billions of dollars in damage to society every single year? Why do we go from addiction to substances to addiction to validation for being sober? Because it releases the same neurochemicals. It releases dopamine. It helps us trigger oxytocin. You gotta remember this. Like this is what the book is, okay? You are just a series of hormones and chemicals, okay? Depending on how much dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, and endorphins you have, you're having a good day, okay? What if you live below zero? What if you don't release a lot of dopamine? What if, here's something else. We'll get into the science of this. See, I try to stop, but I just can't. Dopamine releases in anticipation. So if I say, hey, dude, I got a compliment coming for you, bro. I took a look at your profile, and there's something I want to say, dude. Like, it's pretty sick. Just hang on, bro. Like, I'll get back to it. What if I started amping you up? What if I just started saying, "Hey, dude, I got a compliment on the way. There's something really important, really amazing that I want to share with you personally, Shadow. Just hang tight." What's going to happen is your brain is going to start releasing dopamine. Dopamine is the seeking drug. It is what releases in anticipation. In the same exact way that if you tell a kid, hey, do you want to go to Disneyland? Kid, oh my God, right now? Like, what are we? They're experiencing dopamine. This is why you're way more excited to buy something than when it shows up. You've burned out your dopamine. You already got that high when you were ordering it. You just wanted to make sure that you could do it. You had enough money. You did it. The dopamine. The only thing we're ever seeking, ever, at any moment, is a feeling. That's it. That's it. This is it. There's no other. Nope. It's a feeling. When you are validated, bro, when what you thought, what you said, what you do is reflected back to you, that builds confidence. Why would that build confidence? It's because you're unsure of yourself. Because you're unsure of yourself, as you should be, you were addicted to that substance and this substance, you did that and you fucked that up and that didn't work and these things aren't working. You need the proof. you become a seeker of validation. Your next high comes from the exact same substance that was being released from the substance. The same dopamine, the beer and the alcohol and the pill and the person was giving you no longer shows up over there. So how else are you going to get it? You are going to get it through anticipation of something good. Validation. Very simple. This is why when you work on yourself and you validate you, fuck what you think. I don't care. It doesn't matter what you say. These days, it's hard for me to take a compliment, not because I don't receive compliments well, it's because I know. I fucking know. I told me that first. You're just saying what I've been saying. And it doesn't matter what you say. I've already said it. I say it to myself 25 times. You are not necessary for me to feel good about myself. You become more irrelevant the more I take care of me. I'm hanging out with me. Listen, it's just me in a room right now. Like, look at how much fun I'm having with hanging out with me. There's not even proof that you're real. I'm just kicking it with me. I'm hearing my brain talk to itself right now. I'm literally responding to me, dude. I'm kicking it with my favorite fucking homie, dude. I'm stuck with this cat all day fucking long, bro. Like, that's how I roll. You are too. You're stuck with you all day long. You see what I'm saying? So my point is that I need to make sure, because I'm a super crazy ADHDer, is I need to make sure I have enough dopamine. How do I do that? I get my protein in. I get my water in. I go to the gym, which is on the other side of this wall. I stress my body out, dude. I take my nutrition. I go to sleep on time. I watch the shows. I build. I do productive things. I go to work. I make shit happen. I write books. I build apps, man. I jump on the turntables, dude. I dance. I do backflips. I do gymnastics. I jump on the trampoline. I say hi to people. I go outside. I do things that fuel my dopamine. If I'm already topped off on my dopamine levels, why would I need anything that you are offering, including validation? I wouldn't. I don't. But this is identity. This goes back to the whole reason this whole conversation started. We become emotionally, chemically, hormonally addicted. You're addicted to the dopamine, but you don't know how to get it with dumbbells. So you get it with validation. You get it by setting a bar that other people can meet. When they meet that bar, proof that you were right, proof that you were accurate, proof that you had what it takes, proof that you were right all along, proof that you're actually doing well, proof that you're insecure as fuck and need to work on yourself. I'm not calling you out directly, but here's what I am saying. We all know people that are seeking compliments. We all know people that are called dry beggars. We all know people that are trying to get other people's attention. That's because of the same feeling that we all want. We want to feel safe. We want to feel secure. We want to feel seen. If that's the truth, then what are you doing to fulfill all of those things when nobody is looking? Nothing? That's why you're going to keep seeking. That's why people jump from this substance to that substance. It's just dopamine. We're just chasing the high. The craziest part about all this is the high is just our own brain, dude. We are seeking something we constantly have access to. We just think we don't have access to it without a substance. We think that the free dopamine is just as important as the rewarding dopamine. It's not. They're not the same. So when we go for all these cheap fixes, like a drink and a pill and a person, we become someone that needs more of that, and our brain deprioritizes challenging itself to release it. Dopamine needs to be challenged, man. Your brain could release it at any moment. Here's what's crazy. Your brain has the power to flood your entire system with every chemical that you want, but it won't do it until you work for it. Nope, not for you, not today. You gotta go outside, bro. It won't do it. It's like, what an ass, bro. Just hook me up, right? Some of that work is just thinking about puppies. No, but I don't want to think about you. That's the work, dude. The reason why it's so hard is because you won't do the work. When you get sober, will your yellow eyes leave? Yes, 100%. As your liver heals, Here's something else that's really important. Your liver is one of the biggest and most important and active organs that you have. It's detoxing right this very second. As it gets better, as it gets healthier, it stops producing bilirubin and sending it into your system, and you'll look less yellow. But if you look yellow, you need to seek support, bro. I don't care if it's been a day. I don't care if it's been a week. Once I realized I was yellow, my heart was failing within 24 hours, and I was throwing up blood within 12. There's no, yellow it's way gone on way too long. This guy's video helped me so much. 1 year too much today. Fuck yeah, dude. I love that. Yeah, so many people get sober and start to look at me channels from one addiction to another. Dude, I'm with you 100%. And trust me, it bugs the ever living hell out of me. There's a lot of people that get lost in that. People who are unsure. People that look at someone like me and go like, oh, I can't trust someone that wears two hats. And they go like, I'd rather go with someone that looks pretty and it appears to have it all together and they're saying all the right sober things and all that crap. And then they get steered the wrong direction and they get lost. And then they find themselves like really confused, which is why I keep showing up, dude. You guys you're not gonna get rid of me, dude. I'm always coming up with a new way to say the same thing and reach a different audience, which is really powerful. With that, dude, I could feel my energy dropping. I've been chatting with you, dude, for almost 2 hours, it feels like. My phone's about to die. Hey, I love you, dude. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today, dude. I wasn't expecting all y'all to show up, but you showed up with a vengeance, man. And this is proof, dude, that I want to hang out with you guys a little bit more, a lot bit more. So I'll be live later this week for sure. Something I do want to encourage. TikTok is going like, hey man, you only have a link in your bio for so much longer. If you haven't been to my page and you haven't checked out the SoberScan, if you haven't checked out the guide, if you haven't checked out the program, dude, there's no charge. Just look. Don't be a part of the only 4% of people. I know you might be in the 96% of people that don't ask for help, that don't reach for support, that feel embarrassed, that think they're not worth it, dude, think there's something wrong, think they're being judged. Dude, if you can benefit from anything that I've been saying, if hanging out with someone like me you think could improve your quality of life, check out what I've created, dude. I've been creating stuff for like 9 years, man. The stuff works. There's nothing wrong with you. Worst case scenario, dude, is we have a conversation and I can say, hey, what's up, dude? You were on that live? Dude, that's awesome. Drop your information, dude. I'm not going to spam you. I'm going to throw out some like Substack articles. Maybe I'll send you an email on Friday with some content you may have missed. Dude, get into the atmosphere. Anything that you receive from me is from me. So you have direct access to my inbox right here. Dude, you are on. Look at all these screens, dude. There's another one over there. Bro, I am just constantly responding, constantly being involved. You're not a stranger. You're not a burden. You're not doing something wrong, dude. And if I end up bugging you, bro, cool. Just let me know. But check it out. Don't be a stranger, man. Don't talk yourself out of doing what's right for you. Don't talk yourself out of saying yes to you, dude. You're so good at saying no. You're so good at putting yourself on the back burner. But look, even at my peak of my health, I know it gets even better. It gets better than where you are right now. And it's not because there's something wrong. It's because our whole mission is to optimize our lifestyle and connect with people that feel right to us. Connect with cats who have been there, that have done that, and want nothing but the best for us. I just happen to be one of those people, man. So if you're here, dude, I'd love to see you on the calendar. Check out the book. Check out something, dude. Let me know. Like, write me. Let me know what I can create for you. If there's an app, can I create content? Can I send out an email for you? Can I introduce you to someone? Like, how can I get more involved with you? The easiest way to do that, hit the link in my bio. Let's connect, dude. Join the community. Dude, I promise you, kicking it with me is just like this when we're on a Zoom call. You're gonna be like, oh my God, there really isn't Polly Shore. Bro. With that said, dude, I love you. You're amazing. Expect to catch a notification from me this week. We'll do it again. Come strong. Bring your questions, man. Bring your suggestions. You guys rocked it today. Thank you for everything that you said. Love the questions. Absolutely phenomenal. And I'll go live with somebody else sometime soon. Hey, just like my mother always says, dude, always. She always says this, okay? Take care of you. Okay? I'm gonna take care of me for you. Need you to take care of you for me. Okay? All right. Love you. Bye.